Today's video, I'm going to talk about something. I'm going to use some words that I am totally not qualified to use, which is sociopath and psychopath. But I'm going to use them and explain something as I try to understand a bit more about certain personalities and behaviors, and just come to some understanding and share from my experiences as I learn about this. All right. Okay, I mainly talk about the workplace environment. That is where I have been for many years. And I think as time go on, and I am totally becoming a advocate for learning about different personalities and behaviors to protect yourself. And that is so that we can protect ourselves in intimate relationships, family relationships, business relationships, the workplace relationships, neighborhood relationships, things of that nature. And the more I feel, and I'm sharing as I learn, the more we understand and become aware of certain behaviors and how people act and what people say, and knowing the backstory behind people, this can help save us from some anguish, or also save us when we learn how to not respond because of, I'll say, negative, controlling, manipulative, gaslighting type people, right? And so in this case, something happened, and it has happened, quite a few times, and sometimes it can get so like, wow, I knew something was off about this person, but things keep happening with this person off and on, and it'll happen, then they turn into this nice, sweet person, and then it'll happen again with more vengeance, where you could tell they can't control themselves, and then they'll lie and say, I didn't know this or I didn't know that. But it's something, and I was like, it's something more, So anyway, so I looked up some stuff, right? And the first thing came to my mind, and no, I am not qualified to give out diagnosis. I am not qualified to say you are sociopath, you are psychopath, I'm a sociopath, I'm a psychopath. No. You're a narcissist, you're a this, you're a that, and I'm a narcissist, and I'm this, and I'm that. No, I'm not qualified to do all that, but I'm going to share with you as I learn about different personalities and behaviors that bring up red flags to me and teach me how to protect myself more in the workplace. And with these certain behaviors, always stay on top of it, always document, and always report. And these type of people, you have to speak up and know who to report to ASAP. Okay, so origin of this term sociopath. The term sociopath was coined or popularized by American psychologist George E. Partridge in the early 1930s. The word is derived from the prefix socio, which relates to society or social interactions. And the suffix path comes from the Greek word pathos, meaning suffering or disease. This combination reflects a focus on individuals whose behavior deviates significantly from societal norms and who exhibit antisocial tendencies. So it says, historical context. Initially, the broader term psychopathy was used to describe various mental disorders, but it lacks specific, being specific regarding antisocial behavior. So Patriot recognized that psychopathy was too broad a definition and proposed sociopath as a more precise term to indicate a pervasive failure to adhere to societal norms that could harm others. So this sociopathy was intended to highlight the social aspect of these behaviors, emphasizing how they impact interpersonal relationships and societal structures. And it goes on, blah, 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 talking about stuff between the 1940s, 1945. So it says here, and it's good to know a backstory behind it. Like, sometimes these behaviors and the way they hurt people, and it can become so frustrating. But to understand it and be able to recognize it when you see it, and how to and know the things to do to how to protect yourself is key. Okay, so examples of sociopathic behaviors in a large hospital workplace environment. Sociopathic behaviors can manifest in various ways. Sociopathy often characterized by a lack of empathy, manipulative behavior, and disregard for social norms. Can have a significant implications in such a high stakes setting. Below here goes some examples. I asked for examples of how these behaviors may present themselves. Number 1, manipulation of colleagues. Let me see, how many do they have here? They have 8 examples. Manipulation of colleagues. A sociopath may manipulate their colleagues to achieve personal goals or gain power within the hospital hierarchy. For instance, they might spread false information about a coworker to undermine that person's reputation or career advancement. This could involve fabricating stories about a colleague's incompetence or unethical behavior, leading to distrust among team members and potentially affecting patient care. So now I've gotten to the point when people come to me and start saying negative stuff about other people, especially I'm talking about the ones that constantly talk bad about people. They'll come and say all types of stuff, like, why is this person talking to that person? They don't know what they're talking about. Or, I don't know. It'll be a constant. You know how you say consistency? Consistency in making your videos. Consistency in trying to make money. Or consistency in getting up, going to work every day. No. Their consistency is talking about people. It'll feel funny the way they talk about people all the time, 24/7. And it's always in a nasty way. It's always in a degrading way. You'll feel like something ain't right. Number 2, lack of accountability. Sociopaths often exhibit a blatant disregard for rules and regulations. And then they'll come and actually think you're doo-doo dumb and say, I didn't know how to do that. And they've been working there for almost 50 years. But when they make a mistake and you point, I didn't know how to do that. But they know the rules. They know the regulations. They know what they're supposed to be doing. But when you call them out, But it's good to bring somebody else in that you trust, your manager, your supervisor, whoever, and let them know it has been reported, because they gonna come after you. If you identify what they have done wrong, they coming after you. And they have so many tricky ways to do that. So, in a hospital setting, this could manifest as an individual who consistently ignores protocols related to patient safety or hygiene standards. Nasty motherfuckers. For example, they might skip necessary steps in sterilization procedures or fail to report medication errors. This is on a whole nother level than I deal with. Believing that they are above the rules and that their actions will not have consequences. I'm telling you, don't call them out unless you are a seasoned person, you know your stuff, and you have your backup plan. Other than that, just protect yourself. Stay clear away from them. Everything is, I understand. They're dangerous. Okay. Number 3, exploitation of vulnerable patients. In some cases, sociopathic individuals may exploit vulnerable patients for personal gain. This could involve manipulating patients into unnecessary treatments or procedures for financial incentives, kickbacks from pharmaceutical companies. Such exploitation not only endangers patient health but also violates ethical standards within the medical profession. Number 4, charismatic leadership with hidden agendas. Sociopaths can be highly charismatic and may rise to leadership positions within the hospital due to their ability to charm others. And if they don't, boy, oh boy, watch the rage, watch the madness, and watch how they talk about people if they don't get to move up. However, their leadership style may be self-serving rather than focused on team welfare or patient care. For example, a department head might prioritize projects that enhance their own visibility and career prospects over initiatives that would benefit staff morale or improve patient outcomes. Number 5 is emotional detachment. A sociopath's emotional detachment can lead to inappropriate responses during critical situations. For instance, during a crisis involving a patient's sudden deterioration, they might display indifference or lack urgency, while others are visibly distressed and working hard to save the patient's life. This detachment can create an unsettling atmosphere among staff and compromise teamwork. They will even try to pull you away from helping. What are you doing? Why are you doing so much? Let them handle it. And then they get mad at you when you try to lend a helping hand to help somebody. That's emotional detachment. The next one is bullying behavior. That's huge, and it comes in many different forms. Sociopathic individuals may engage in bullying tactics against co-workers who challenge them or threaten their position within the hospital hierarchy. This could include public humiliation during meetings or undermining colleagues' contributions in front of supervisors. Such behavior creates a toxic work environment that affects overall staff morale and productivity. Number 7 is deceptive practices. They're involved in all this mess. Deception is another hallmark of sociopathy. Thus, an individual might falsely record or misrepresent qualifications to secure employment or promotions within the hospital system, or even get you to speak up for them so that they can get what they want. You know, they get close to you, act like they all nicey, you know, get you coffee, get you this, get you that, buy you lunch, so you can give a good word about them. You don't know their true behavior. For example, they might claim expertise in certain medical procedures that they have not been trained in, putting patients at risk when performing those procedures. The last one here is number 8, resistance to team collaboration. Sociopaths often prefer working independently rather than collaboratively due to their self-centered nature and lack of regard for others' input or feelings. In a hospital setting where teamwork is crucial for effective patient care, such as during surgeries or emergency responses, a sociopath's reluctance to collaborate can hinder performance and lead to negative outcomes for patients. These examples illustrate how sociopathic behaviors can disrupt the functioning of a large hospital environment by undermining trust among colleagues, compromising patient safety, and creating an unhealthy workplace culture. And then it goes on to talk about signs and symptoms of a sociopath in the workplace. Identifying a sociopath in the workplace can be challenging, as they often present themselves as charming, competent individuals. However, there are several signs and symptoms that may indicate sociopathic behaviors. So, okay. Number 1, lack of empathy. Sociopaths struggle to understand or care about the feelings of others. In a workplace setting, this may manifest as insensitivity to colleagues' emotions or inability to recognize when someone is upset. They just don't get it. Number 2 is manipulative behavior. They may use deceitful tactics to achieve their goals, such as lying, exaggerating their accomplishments. This manipulation can create a toxic work environment where trust is eroded. So those that you know participate in that fake it till you make it stuff, because you sit them in the fire and they cannot perform. Those fake it till you make it. And they sitting there don't have a damn clue of what the hell is going on. I clicked something that came up over my phone. The next one is number 3 is superficial charm. Sociopaths can be very charismatic and engaging initially, making it difficult for others to see their true nature until significant harm has been done. So this is how many people, I know I have gotten caught up, because when you look at people that are so nice and so sweet, some people really are, but some people are with the agenda behind it, with some sort of mental illness initiative behind it. And it can throw you off. It can be confusing. That's why it's good to know various different techniques behind these type of behaviors. It's hard. It's hard, like them. I don't know. It's very, very hard. Like faking the funk. I don't know how to explain it. It's really hard to identify some of these people until you get involved in some situations and you're like, oh my God, like what is really happening here? Like there's something seriously wrong. But once you start learning and you start seeing, it becomes, when people say once you see and you start feeling, it becomes easier to identify. Like you've been through it so many times. It's disgusting. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. Number 4 is impulsivity, a tendency to act without thinking about the consequences can lead to erratic behavior in professional settings, such as making hasty decisions that negatively impact projects or teams. This one is a biggie and can have a whole discussion within itself. This is where they act and become erratic with their actions, and then they shut it down and flip the script and become real nice while they are deflecting the situation and blaming the situation on others. Something like that. It can get real deep. It can get real deep. Number 5 is irresponsibility. They may consistently fail to fulfill obligations or meet deadlines, often blaming others for their shortcomings rather than taking responsibility. Number 6 is aggressive behavior. Sociopaths may exhibit hostility or aggression when challenged or confronted, creating an intimidating atmosphere for coworkers. So that's how you can test it out a teeny weeny bit. Is you'll notice how aggressive somebody get. Like, some people can take constructive criticism or when they are challenged or confronted about a situation, but some people become just nasty, and you'll watch and feel the vindictiveness in them, right? And then that's when it's time to start looking at some other stuff. Number 7 is boundary violations. They might disregard personal boundaries, whether by invading personal space or sharing inappropriate information about themselves or others. So someone that's quick to tell you their personal, deep down secrets, and you just met them or you're just not that close with them, that comes with all of the other stuff as well. It's not just that alone, but if they have some of these other qualities while doing that, then it's because they want to lure you in to their manipulative and controlling ways, and so that you will not, once they got you and they do something wrong to you, they do something wrong to others that you witness, you won't say anything. You'll give them a pass. Number 8, inconsistent work performance. Their performance may fluctuate dramatically. They might excel at times, but also show periods of disengagement or lack of productivity. I think I do that sometimes. Sometimes I don't feel like being bothered. So maybe I'm a sociopath, right? Number 9, exploitation of others. A sociopath may take advantage of colleagues for personal gain without remorse, using them as tools to further their own agenda. Take advantage. Number 10, poor relationships with colleagues. Over time, sociopaths often find it difficult to maintain healthy relationships at work due to their manipulative and self-serving tendencies. They'll come to you and complain about the people they work with. It's always the people they work with that's bothering them. It's always, first of all, they're going to always have something negative to say about the people they work with. And they just try to, if they can't control the people that they work with, it's always something negative. So, solutions for dealing with a sociopath in the workplace. If you suspect that you are dealing with a sociopath in your workplace, consider the following strategies. Document everything. Whether you use it or not, you might use it later. Date, time, what happened. Keep detailed records of interactions with the individuals and the specific behaviors that you've encountered. I saw a video the other day, and one thing I do want to add in here is never, when you going to report something, I never go by color. Even though in some situations it may be color, race, prejudice, but I always go with facts. I think that's what some people want you to do, is use race or political affiliation or age or this and that. Even though those things may be happening, I always use facts. What exactly did they say? What exactly did they do? Right? And then if those other things come out of it, that's when you take it further to like EEO or something like that. But always deal with the facts. Don't, even if you know it's about something else. Set clear boundaries regarding acceptable behavior and communication styles. Look, I already reported this. There's no need to discuss it any further with me. Set your boundaries. Limit personal sharing. Avoid sharing personal information that could be used against you later on. Sociopaths often exploit vulnerabilities for manipulation purposes. Sometimes I test people. I give them a little something juicy. Watch their behavior. Watch their actions. Watch how they respond to me. Got my answer. Seek support from HR or management if the behavior becomes disruptive or harmful. Focus on professionalism. Always remain professional, especially around these people. You might do a little hee hee hee, ha ha ha, laugh at they laugh, but for the most part, keep it professional. Maybe your laugh can be professional, something like that. But don't. Encourage team collaboration. Foster an environment where teamwork is emphasized so that the sociopath's manipulation tactics are less effective when everyone works together cohesively. They don't like that shit. When people working together and getting shit done and they can't get in there to throw a monkey wrench in it, you think they don't? They don't like that. Educate yourself and others. Share knowledge about sociopathic traits with colleagues so they can recognize similar behaviors and protect themselves accordingly. A lot of times when we encounter these type of behaviors in the workplace, the only thing you hear people saying is something ain't right with them. I don't mess with them. I go the other way. Or, things of that nature. Consider professional help. If the situation escalates beyond what you feel comfortable managing alone, consider consulting workplace psychologists who specialize in organizational behavior for guidance on handling difficult personalities effectively. If you look it up, you can even see articles on LinkedIn or just Google articles and find the data. How many people have committed suicide? How many people have lost their jobs to these type of behaviors? How many people have went crazy, have gotten sick, stressed, heart attack, stroke from these type of behaviors in the workplace? I'm a big advocate for learning about these personalities and behaviors and nipping that shit in the butt. Plan an exit strategy if necessary. If the situation does not improve and begins affecting your mental health significantly, it may be wise to consider transferring departments or seeking employment elsewhere for your well-being. A lot of times you cannot speak up. You got to go deep, is what I learned. Do not defend, do not explain, do not engage, and do not personalize, but protect yourself. Self-care practices are big. Before you go to work, after you come home from work. Engage in self-care activities to manage stress levels associated dealing with a difficult coworker. This could include exercise, meditation, hobbies, getting into yourself and doing what you like to do in addition to work. So by recognizing these signs and implementing appropriate strategies, individuals can better navigate interactions with potential sociopaths in the workplace environments while maintaining their own mental health and professional integrity. Listen, this stuff is serious, and think about it. You know, we've had it in families. There's so many. It has affected people so much, so bad throughout this whole world and the way this world has been going. But the more we learn, the better off we get to. They have a right to be who they are. We can't control people, but we can protect ourselves and those that we love that needs protection when we can, by learning and being aware. Peace.